Good morning, everybody. Pastor Stitch, Narrow Path Christian Church, BC, Bay City, Michigan. Welcome to the Biker Devotional. So, have you ever bought yourself a new pair of riding boots? Spent a couple $100, got yourself a really nice pair of boots. They fit good at the store, right? You got them home, you started wearing them, and you realize there's some tight spots in this leather, and they hurt your feet. But it's pretty typical. You may not know this about me, but I spent years as a leathersmith, working with leather every single day. Would buy hundreds of hides, full hides of cows every year. Very familiar with leather itself and how to manipulate it, how to sew it, how to mold it, how to get it to shape and all of that. And last fall, I bought myself a pair of riding boots because the soles on my old ones had worn out, and I had priced out what it was going to cost to replace the soles on the old boots, and buying a new pair of boots was going to be about the same price. So why not get a new pair of boots and move on from there? And after I got the boots home, I put them on, and I was wearing them the first day because, you get a good pair of leather shoes or boots, you have to break them into your feet. They have to take the shape of your feet. That's one of the amazing things about leather, right? It works that way. But in the beginning process, it's really uncomfortable. And when it's really, really uncomfortable, sometimes we give up on it. Well, I took the boots off because riding season was over, and I put them away. And this year, I got the boots back out and put them back on, and they were uncomfortable again. I wore them for about 2 or 3 hours, and they just were really uncomfortable, and I gave up on them again. Have you ever done that? You got this investment that you put into this. You've got this great product. You got this thing that is going to be beneficial for you in the long run, but it needs some work. You got to get used to it. You got to develop it. You've got to cultivate it into your life, right? But it's difficult, it's painful, and you give up on it. Well, I know this one thing. The best way to break in a pair of boots is to get them soaking wet, put them on, and wear them all day. They will stretch to your feet, they will shape to your feet, and they will be a perfect fit for you because they're leather. Don't do that with other shoes that aren't leather, by the way, because it just gets messy and squishy. And it will be messy and squishy if you wear leather. Matter of fact, if they're dyed any color other than natural, your socks will be destroyed. So just be prepared for that. But that's okay, because the shoes will be very comfortable after that. Well, I did that this morning. I got my shoes, my boots, filled them with water, let them soak for a while, and then dump the water out of them and put my boots on, and they're already starting to feel so much better. What's this got to do with anything? Well, it comes down to this. When our walk with Jesus Christ often will look the same. Jesus was dealing with a whole bunch of people when he was here on earth, and at one point he had some high-minded people come to him and say, "We're going to follow you." And the first person was a scribe, well-liked in the community, I'm sure, because he had a great job. And he said, "I'll follow you anywhere." And Jesus said, "Well, except I don't have a place to live. I don't have a place to lay down. I'm going to be sleeping in the streets tonight." We don't know if that man followed him or not. But the next one said, "I'm going to follow you, but you got to bear with me a little bit. I need to go home and bury my father before I can come follow you." Jesus' response was, "Follow me and let the dead bury their own dead." That seems really harsh, right? But here's the thing. He wasn't talking about his dad that had just died. He was talking about, my dad is elderly and he needs my help at home. And so I'm going to stay with him until he passes away, and then I'll come follow you. Well, that sounds reasonable too. I mean, my dad's lived with me for 15 years, right? And today he's with me, and I love my father. But caring for him gets in the way of a lot of things that I could be doing, right? It's reasonable to take care of your father. But Jesus says, make sure that you don't let that stop you from doing what you need to do. Now let's come back to my boots. They were uncomfortable. I stopped wearing them. Spent good money on boots, right? And all I had to do was go fill them with water, let them soak for a little bit, dump the water out of them, put them on, and deal with wet feet for a little while I wore them. Wear them for a day while they're wet, and they'll be perfectly shaped to my feet, right? Be willing to do what is necessary and what God needs from you. It's critical. It absolutely is. So just remember this today. As you go into the world, you're going to have to make choices, and sometimes they're going to be really difficult. Sometimes you're going to have to deal with some of the pain and the ickiness. I mean, nobody likes to put on wet leather boots. They're squishy, they're cold, but I promise you, if they got tight spots in that leather, they fit in most places, but they got a couple of tight spots. You put wet boots on and you wear them, within a very short period of time, they're going to start to feel really comfortable. And if you actually let them start to dry on your feet, they're shaped to you, and they're going to be incredible to wear. Not only that, but they will give you a good long service life. And they'll be worth every penny you paid for them. But if you never do that, and you only put them on every once in a while, and every time you put them on, you remember how uncomfortable they are, so you take them back off again, you wasted a lot of time and a lot of money. So today, put your wet boots on. Make them perfect for you. And go into the world and serve. I love y'all. I hope you have a great day. God bless.